Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And you guys already know what it is. It's what a deku was, Hades Part 3. And I left you guys off with a little bit of a cliffhanger. Basically, let me explain what has happened. Basically, give me a little slight summary of what happened. Basically, you know, Zeus threw a party for everyone, every god and goddess. And Hades shows up to the party, sees Persephone there. Persephone's not really having a good time because everyone's either passed out or drunk. And she tries to walk away from the party. And she's like walking down the hall to the library. It's where she spends most of her time trying to improve her magic, I think, or power. Excuse me. But on the way to the library, she runs into a son of Poseidon. Like, Persephone has been proposed by many gods, but she has refused each of them. And this god, I think he's a god. He's a son of Poseidon. And then he tries to, with Persephone, but she's like, nah. Then she declines and tries to walk away. But then this dude grabs her. I can't remember his name. He has a name, I just forgot it. But Persephone tries to walk away, and he grabs her by the wrist and like tug roughly. And Hades sees that, and him in his head, he's like, "Oh no, we can't have that happen. Not in my house, sir." So he walks up. He's like, "Is there a problem here?" And then like the dude's like, "Yeah, there's nothing wrong here, homie." He's like, "Are you sure? Because it looks like yeah, mishandling a goddess right here." And Hades pushes this dude back. I'll find out his name next time. I'll know his name by next part. I just can't remember it right now. But yeah. And then the dude tries to attack Hades, which is not gonna work because he summons two skeleton troopers, and one of the skeleton troopers has his spear at the dude's throat, and Hades tells him to bug off. So he runs away. The two skeletons return to the underworld through shadows. And basically, they both go to the library. They sit down at like one of the tables there. And Hades uses some healing magic on Persephone because her wrist was a little bruised. Because the dude grabbed her wrist, and he is. I think he's either a god or a demigod, and I can't remember which one. But they sit down to talk, and then Persephone's mother, Hera, yeah, that's her name. Hera, Zeus's wife, and Persephone's mother, and Hera has a burning hatred for Hades after what he did like 3 million years ago. Like, that happened like 3 million years ago, and she still has a burning hatred for him. And Hades is not really a bad guy. He's misjudged. And what exactly Hades did, he maybe more or less attacked the heavens. But he had a good reason. He was, he was straight up neglected every time he went up to Mount Olympus. He also, he looked at down the street. He wouldn't, like, if he was like walking down the street, he'd be looked at weird. So people like, it's the god of the underworld. Like, Hades was one of the most powerful. He's one of the most powerful gods, but he's still the god of the underworld, the place where the dead reside and the souls stay. But Hades is honestly not a bad guy. Like, if you come to him to ask, if you ask him for something, he might give it to you, but you have to prove to him that you can earn it. So, like, for example, when during Hercules' 12 labors, his final labor was to bring back Cerberus from the underworld to present to the king. And when Hercules got there, he politely asked Hades, and Hades agreed, but there was one condition, that Cerberus was not to be harmed. And he was brought to the king unharmed, and he was also brought back to the underworld unharmed. See, Hades is not really a bad guy. He's misjudged. But basically they're talking, and Hera comes in. She asks Persephone, she asks Hades to put down his hood, because he's wearing a cloak, so not many people know who he is. He's got a hood, of course, but you know how it be. Then Persephone starts talking about how Hades saved her, but then she got into the point of skeleton troopers, and Hera knows that skeleton troopers are the servants, warriors of Hades, and then she's like, you, and then she's like enraged that he's here, because Hades was banished from the heavens, but Zeus lifted the banish. Because even though he did wrong things in the past, he thinks that everyone should have a second chance, which I do believe in. Hades has changed. And, basically Hera starts yelling at him for him. It's like a disgrace for him to be here after what he did, and blah, 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 blah. Basically going on. And then Zeus comes in. And then Persephone, not Hera, sends Persephone to her room. And, why can't I speak? Yeah. Then Zeus and, Hera get in an argument. Like how, Hades should be banished from the heavens and should never be able to return after what he did. And then Zeus comes on and he's like, he is still a god, and he shall be respected and as one. They're just going back and forth, and Hades is like, I'll just let myself out. And then he shrouds it. He kind of does the cape turn. He slings his cape back and walks out the room. Once he leaves the doors, he teleports back to his palace in the underworld. Ugh. Then his head servant, his trusted friend and technically head servant, asks him how the party went. And Hades is like, could have gone better. But then, the day after that, they finally go back to UA. Jeez, man, I was so drilled on that part. If I am not correct, I left off right before the USJ attack. So they're on the bus. And they're talking. Just people that are randomly talking. And Hades and Persephone are getting to know each other better. And Persephone asks why her mother, like, blew up, and what did Hades do? Like, she's only heard rumors. She never actually heard the actual story. And so basically on the way to the USJ, Hades explains that his entire life he's been one of the most powerful gods. And he's been probably one of the most powerful. But he was always judged unthoroughly. He was also neglected upon and judged without a second thought, blamed for multiple things. And one day he snapped and he rebelled against the heavens, attacking. And when Persephone's hearing this, she kind of feels sorry for him because, he was neglected. Like, even though he's one of the most powerful gods, he was neglected because just because of a title, god of the underworld, Lord of the Dead, King of Souls. Like, people judged him. The meaning of don't judge a book by its cover is the best thing you could ever do for Hades, because Hades, not a bad guy, but all those people judged him before they actually got to know him. One day, Hades got fed up with him and attacked out of blatant rage. And when Persephone hears this, she's actually feeling bad for him. But they do get to the USJ, and Deku senses there's an anomaly of some sort in the area, from down there, and he looks down at the fountain. Then the portal forms and villains start to flood out, and before Aizawa could do anything, I am referring, Deku is Hades. So every time I say Hades, I mean Deku. But I want to try something new up here. So, yeah, Hades teleports down there and starts wrapping people up in thorn vines, blasting them away with blue flames, skeletal troopers, helping him fight. Basically, all going ham, and then the Nomu comes on, and Shigaraki commands him to attack Deku, which doesn't really work. Deku tries to restrain it, but he quickly learns when he tries to that this thing is not, mortal. This thing is not mortal. It might be breathing, but this thing is not alive. Let's say he can, see souls, to see if a being is soulless or not. And he looks for this thing's soul, and he sees he doesn't have one. So that means he doesn't have to hold back. Whereas his hair flames up. And Hades really holds the Nomu down with these sharp thorn vines and incinerates the thing. Then Shigaraki's like, Kurogiri's like, yeah, we cannot deal with him, not now. So he gets Shigaraki. So Kurogiri gets himself and Shigaraki out of there before Deku could do anything to them. Persephone's watching this and she's like, dang, I didn't know he was this powerful. But all the pros get there, villains are captured. That's going to be it for this part, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.